I love broth soups, and I specifically love hot and sour or sweet and sour soups. This recipe, hot and sour soup, really takes Thrive ingredients and really elevates them to understand their natural flavors. So this soup is really easy, and it's not hard or intimidating for you to do at home. Take fresh garlic that I've minced with a little bit of sesame oil into a warm pan, because you want to get a little bit of that toasty flavor. Once that's caramelized a little bit, go ahead and add your onions, freeze-dried Thrive onions. Okay, and just let that get a little bit toasty. Then we're going to take soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, tomato ketchup, a little bit of cayenne pepper, and stir this in until it's all blended together and it's had a chance to reduce slightly. Once it's blended together and reduced slightly, go ahead and add your Thrive beef bouillon and 4 cups of water. We're going to bring this soup to a simmer and allow the flavors to develop for about 15 to 20 minutes at a low simmer. After the flavors have been developed, we're going to thicken the soup with a little bit of cornstarch slurry. After the soup is simmered for 15 to 20 minutes, or until the flavors have developed, your whole house should smell like Thrive. It's delicious. This is a wonderful, warm, comforting soup. But we want to thicken the soup. So what I've done is taken some cornstarch, and I'm going to just whisk the cornstarch with 4 or 5 tablespoons of cold water. This is what will make what we call a slurry. And you want this soup to have a little bit of body. You don't want it to be completely a broth. We want to have a little bit of body so that it sits nicely in the bowl, won't slosh all over when the kids try to come and get some. So mix the slurry up. And the soup is still simmering. You want to make sure it's simmering. You want to add cold or hot thickening to the opposite of your soup or what you're trying to thicken. So this is hot soup, I'll add cold thickening. We'll add it slowly, whisking at the same time so we make sure that it disperses evenly. You want to whisk this till it's smooth, and you want to bring it back to a simmer to cook any of that starchiness out. So we'll let that come back to a simmer. While that's coming to a simmer, we're going to take some of our delicious Thrive freeze-dried green onions. And we're going to put them in the bottom of this dish. You can just see how light, fresh, grown in their prime, picked in their prime, and freeze-dried so that you're able to enjoy them for many, many years if you ever need to. Now we're going to put a strainer on those. After the soup is thickened and come to a simmer, we'll add the soup through the strainer into the green onions. Instantly, when the hot soup hits the green onions, it's going to pop and burst with its aroma and flavor and really flavor this hot and sour soup perfectly. After you've allowed the soup to come back to a simmer and thicken and cook some of that starch out, you then want to strain off right into your glass dish, or you can just strain it right into another pot, collecting that delicious broth. And now whisk these green onions in so that they'll release their wonderful flavor and aromatics into that soup. You can see what a nice bodied, delicious, hot and sour soup that's going to be.